Today we are going to talk about project operator in KQL. Basically, project is used to project a particular number of columns within a given data set, and there are various different types of project statements, and we will learn about each of them. Now, to get started, what we would do is start typing sign-in logs, which is an available data set we have. And just for the ease of understanding, we will take one so that we can see the result reflecting in a better way. And let us try to run the query. And as we have taken one, so this is going to show only one row as an output. And once the result appears, right, then we should see it brings a lot of columns which may not be meaningful and useful all the time. Now, just to trim it down, we will start using project and we will start choosing a column called user principal name. All right. Now, if I run this query once again, right, so what would happen is it'll only drill down the column to a projected column, which is user principal name. What we could also do is we add a new column called new column. This is totally be dynamic, and we will do a string concatenation function wherein we would say user hyphen and comma user principal name, and we run this once again. And once we run this, what's going to happen is you can see a new column created dynamically, and it is specifically defined in the project statement, right? Now, this was about having kind of specific columns out of a data set. Now, what if we want to take one, and once we run this, we know it is going to show us all the columns from the sign-in logs, but we do want to keep most of them. But let's say we want to remove this column operation name because maybe we don't want it for now. So we would say project away, and we would say operation name. And after writing that query, right, we would rerun the query again, and we will wait for the result to come. And once that comes, we can see this is not there as a column, but just to verify that, we would also extend the column values and slowly look at them, that we do not see the operation name column anymore. Now that was a good removal. What if we want to remove everything which starts with operation? All right. So what we would do is we, in place of name, we just do a wildcard called star. And once we do this and run the query once again, what is going to happen is every column starts with operation will go away. And you can see in here, and just to give you a confirmation, I would expand the result set and keep scrolling down slowly to make sure that this shows there is nothing displayed starting with operation, right? So that was about operation of project away, right? Now, what if we want to keep something similarly, right? So all we would do is, we'll just say instead of away, we will just rename that as keep. And as you can see, we have done a wildcard and then do an operation before that, and let us run this. And once we run the query, you can see it only picked up wherein it starts with operation. All right. And that's about operation details. And maybe if we want to go a bit more specific, if we want to keep only operation name, All right. So this is going to keep operation name alone, right? Now, just in the same data set, let's say we have done the projection, we have done the removal using away, we have tried to keep a column specifically. Now, if we want to rename just for the purpose of making it more relevant and readable, so we would type as rename, and what you do is you'd say new user name equal to user principal name, and let us try to run this query now. Now in this case, once the query is executed successfully, as a result what you would see is all the columns available. But if we go ahead and expand the result set, we will scroll down and try to find out, and we would discover that there is no column named user principal name available anymore. So it has been renamed to username, new username. All right. So that was about renaming. And now the next thing we are going to do is, so when we see a result set, right, maybe that gives the right result, but just from a readability standpoint or understanding standpoint, that might not be in the right order. So we can kind of reorder that as well. And if I just type reorder, that's where the command looks like. And what we would do is, let's try to reorder and then bring up the column called user principal name at the beginning and put everything else as a wildcard tar just next to it. And once we run the query, so once we do that, you see once the result comes in, the first place is user principal name, and obviously the rest is followed after that based on the wildcard, right? Now if we even want to go a little further, what we do is we will do a wildcard in the first place itself, right? So user wildcard star comma star, and if we rerun the query, all right, so once we do that, what will happen is you can see all the columns related to users will be coming in front. So that will be the starting rows, all right, and obviously it will follow by the rest of the rows, rest of the columns available within that. Now that was a different flavor of project operator, and just to understand, project operator basically shows while the results are displayed on the screen, it doesn't even change anything behind the data set. So your data set remains as is, wherein whenever we are using project operator, it basically projects the result which is already stored in a format or in a manner we want it. That was all about project.